The Inca, they came, they saw people living here, and they incorporated their beliefs, but in a much larger scale. And they completely modified the top of this mountain. So when they were building Machu Picchu, they would have known about this place.
History may not be what we've been told. In the heart of Peru stands a site so massive and precise that even today's engineers struggle to explain it.
So as an architect, I really wish that I can have like a time machine and go back in time and see how they did it.
Built without iron tools or wheels, its stones weigh over 50 tons and locked together with machine-like accuracy.
This is a separate rock from this rock, and yet they fit perfectly together. You couldn't fit even a razor blade between these two stones.
The Inca are really well known for their incredible stonework.
How do you do it at the top of a mountain?
This is not a myth, it's real. Welcome to Ollantaytambo, Peru's greatest mystery, where the ruins appear beyond human capability. What you're about to see isn't just ancient, it's nearly impossible. Mystery set in stone. High in the Andes lies a puzzle that continues to challenge historians, archaeologists, and engineers alike. Peru's megalithic ruins, ranging from the Nazca Lines to Machu Picchu, are more than cultural landmarks. They are enigmas of construction that defy conventional explanations. The Nazca Lines, stretching across nearly 200 square miles, can only be fully seen from the sky, while Machu Picchu, rediscovered in the early 20th century, showcases Incan mastery over terrain, stone, and environment. Together with sites like Sacsayhuaman and Ollantaytambo, they raise the same question. How did ancient builders achieve feats that seem impossible even today? At Sacsayhuaman, perched above Cusco, walls of stone blocks, some weighing over 100 tons, fit so tightly together that a razor blade cannot pass between them.
Stones in the center of Machu Picchu are over 50 tons.
No mortar holds them, yet they have survived earthquakes that reduced later Spanish colonial buildings to rubble. These stones were shaped with such precision that modern engineers struggle to replicate the technique. Ollantaytambo intensifies the mystery. Standing at nearly 9,200 feet above sea level, its colossal stones were quarried miles away and somehow transported uphill through ravines and rugged terrain. No evidence of wheels, steel tools, or draft animals capable of hauling such loads exists. Even with cranes and trucks, moving such monoliths today would pose extreme difficulty. Machu Picchu adds another layer of sophistication. Built on a mountain ridge prone to landslides and seismic shocks, the city rests on a network of terraces and subterranean drainage channels.
These deep foundations were necessary to help with seismic movements and terrace drainage to make sure things would filter properly.
These systems not only prevented erosion, but also stabilized the entire site against earthquakes. Archaeologists using ground-penetrating radar confirmed this hidden engineering, revealing an advanced understanding of both geology and hydrology. What makes these structures even more remarkable is the choice of stone. Many blocks are made of diorite and andesite, rocks that register just below diamond on the Mohs hardness scale. Bronze or copper tools, the only ones known to the Incas, should not have been capable of carving them. Yet the stones feature curves, angles, and interlocking joints so perfect that some seams are invisible even under microscopic scrutiny.
This is a separate rock from this rock, and yet they fit perfectly together. You couldn't fit even a razor blade between these two stones. And this was shaped with stone tools.
Other sites across the Andes, Pisac, Tipon, and Moray, show the same signature: flawless masonry, high-altitude placement, and inexplicable stone shaping. Everywhere, the same pattern emerges. Structures designed not just for beauty, but for resilience. These walls flex during seismic activity, absorbing shocks that would destroy conventional masonry. Impossible stones. The impossible stones of Peru are some of the greatest puzzles in archaeology. Sites like Sacsayhuaman and Ollantaytambo feature massive megalithic blocks that defy explanation. These stones are not small bricks or simple slabs. Many are as tall as a bus and weigh more than 50 tons. Yet, they are fitted so tightly together that not even a blade of grass or a credit card can slip between them. The question is simple. How did the builders move, shape, and place stones of this scale without modern machinery? The answer remains unknown. At Ollantaytambo, the mystery deepens. The enormous stones were not taken from the mountain where the site stands. Instead, they were quarried across the valley, on the opposite mountainside. To reach the site, the builders had to drag these monoliths across the Urubamba River, haul them up steep inclines, and maneuver them through rugged, uneven terrain. Even with today's cranes, hydraulic lifts, and heavy trucks, this would require detailed planning and weeks of effort.
The process through from beginning to end. They didn't quarry the rock and then decide, how the heck are we going to transport this? They knew, from beginning to end, what needed to be done with whatever techniques and technology they were going to use, so that this was no big deal.
Yet, the Inca had no wheels, no metal carts, and no engines. They relied on manpower alone. Conventional theories suggest that thousands of workers used ropes, ramps, and wooden rollers. But the landscape itself challenges this explanation. Evidence shows some stones were abandoned mid-transport, suggesting failed attempts. Still, many made it to the site and were placed with astonishing accuracy. The wall of the 6 monoliths at Ollantaytambo demonstrates this precision. 6 enormous stones stand interlocked in a way that seems mathematically perfect. Some stones include niches carved into their surfaces, while others display protrusions known as knobs or bosses. Scholars debate whether these were functional lifting points or symbols with hidden meaning. What cannot be denied is that the placement was deliberate and exact. The engineering brilliance goes even further. The joints between the stones are smooth and mortarless, yet the walls have survived for centuries in an earthquake-prone region. Spanish colonial buildings in the same area have collapsed during earthquakes, but Inca stonework still stands untouched. This suggests the builders not only mastered stone carving, but also understood seismic behavior, designing their structures to withstand natural disasters. Another layer of the mystery lies in the hardness of the stone itself. Some blocks are made of andesite, a rock so tough that bronze chisels available to the Inca would have barely scratched its surface. Yet, the faces are perfectly smooth, and the edges are cut at complex angles. Traditional tools do not explain this achievement. Theories range from lost technologies and forgotten engineering methods to the use of chemical stone softening agents made from native plants. Others suggest an even older pre-Inca civilization may have started the work. None of these theories has been proven, leaving the stones a riddle carved in silence. Unsolved ancient engineering. Ancient records about Peru's megaliths are scarce, and most evidence connects them either to the Inca or to earlier cultures such as the Kilki. Mainstream science explains these massive structures through the use of bronze and stone tools, combined with immense labor, ramps, and rolling methods. Despite popular theories of advanced or lost civilizations, there is no solid scientific proof for heat-based stone shaping, melting techniques, or reconstituted stone methods. When Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 16th century, they were stunned by the immense walls of Cusco and Sacsayhuaman. They asked the Incas how such structures were built, but the Incas gave the same answer. These were here before us. While the Inca were excellent builders, creating terraces, roads, and temples, their masonry did not match the size, precision, and complexity of the older foundations upon which their structures often rested. This layered construction suggests the oldest builders used knowledge beyond what is officially recorded. Dating these stones is another challenge. Radiocarbon dating cannot be applied directly to stone since it lacks organic matter. Instead, archaeologists date nearby materials such as charcoal, wood, or bones found within construction layers. Some of these samples suggest human activity in the Andes 4,000 to 5,000 years ago, predating the Inca Empire by millennia. Geological studies further complicate the picture. At Ollantaytambo, for example, many blocks were sourced from a quarry across a river and up a steep slope several miles away. Transporting multi-ton stones without steel, cranes, or wheels remains difficult even with modern equipment. No evidence of large-scale ramps or mechanical devices has been uncovered in the terrain, leaving the logistics unexplained. Microscopic analysis of stone surfaces raises even more questions. Some walls show smooth finishes as though polished with machines, while others reveal patterns resembling high-speed rotary cutting. A peer-reviewed 2022 geoscience study concluded that many grooves could not have been produced by chiseling alone, urging further investigation into unknown methods of stone shaping. Modern technology, like satellite imaging and LiDAR, has revealed even more beneath the soil of the Sacred Valley. Hidden terraces, geometric layouts, and underground chambers appear linked to the visible ruins, suggesting intentional urban planning.
It's estimated that potentially up to 60% of the construction of Machu Picchu is underground, and these deep foundations were necessary to help with seismic movements.
At Sacsayhuaman, LiDAR scans revealed subterranean tunnels and large voids, potentially caverns or hydraulic systems, showing that surface structures may represent only a fraction of the original complex. Astronomical precision adds another layer of mystery. The Coricancha temple in Cusco aligns with the June solstice sunrise within a fraction of a degree, while Machu Picchu also aligns with solstices and equinoxes. Such accuracy required advanced observational astronomy and precise engineering, not guesswork. In 2024, experts at the University of San Marcos in Lima admitted that many aspects of Peru's megaliths remain unexplained. If the Inca did not build the largest and oldest foundations, and if the known tools were insufficient, then the central question remains: what civilization had the ability to achieve such engineering marvels? Engineering feats beyond the Inca. Standing just inches from the walls of Ollantaytambo in Peru is enough to unsettle anyone. These stone walls, built over 5 centuries ago, still challenge modern construction standards. The deeper you look, the clearer it becomes. This was not random work. Precision was the rule, not the exception. And what is most shocking is that the techniques used remain unknown. At first glance, the walls look simple, rows of stones stacked neatly. But move closer, and the illusion disappears. Every block is cut with astonishing accuracy. There is no mortar holding them together. Some stones have as many as 12 faces, all perfectly aligned with the surrounding blocks. These are not uniform squares. They are irregular, puzzle-like shapes that interlock so tightly you cannot slip a piece of paper between them. The real mystery is how this was done without iron tools. The Inca only had bronze, which is far too soft to cut the volcanic rocks found here, such as andesite and diorite. These rocks are so tough that even modern diamond-tipped tools struggle with them. Yet somehow, the builders smoothed surfaces, carved flat edges, and sculpted flawless curves that match adjoining stones like molded plastic. Archaeologists suggest they may have used hammerstones made from harder materials like hematite, slowly pounding the surface down over weeks or months. Others believe it was sheer patience, an extreme investment of labor. But even then, this does not explain the perfect joints or the consistency across massive walls. Some of the angles are so tight that they would have required detailed planning and advanced engineering methods that have not been fully documented in the region. There are also curious features integrated into the stones themselves. Many walls include indentations and protrusions carved directly into the rock. Some experts think these were for seismic resistance, while others suggest symbolic meaning or even a lost code. None of these features was added later. They were carved seamlessly into the original stones. The Temple of the Sun at Ollantaytambo takes this precision to an even higher level. Its stones are polished to a reflective finish and positioned to align with the sun during solstices. This shows not only architectural skill, but astronomical astronomical knowledge. Built nearly 9,000 feet above sea level, without written blueprints or surveying instruments, this structure channels light with accuracy that still amazes researchers. The walls were also earthquake-resistant. Their polygonal design, where no two stones are the same, allowed them to absorb seismic energy and survive tremors that toppled other civilizations. Modern engineers admit replicating this system would be extremely difficult today. Peru's mystery. Peru is home to some of the world's most baffling mysteries. Among them are the Nazca lines, gigantic geoglyphs carved into the desert floor, and the megalithic ruins of Sacsayhuaman, Machu Picchu, and Ollantaytambo. These sites raise questions that history has yet to answer. How were stones weighing up to 70 tons cut, transported, and set into place with such flawless precision, without mortar, wheels, or iron tools? Why do some walls appear abandoned mid-construction, yet still look as if they were engineered beyond the limits of ancient technology? At Ollantaytambo, the mystery becomes even sharper. Standing before 6 colossal monoliths, researchers note that the site doesn't look eroded by time, but rather left unfinished. The scale and accuracy of the stonework surpass even completed monuments across the world. Each block is fitted so tightly that not even a blade can slip between them, despite the absence of modern equipment. The site shows advanced engineering, not speculation, mathematics, physics, and seismic design principles carved into stone. The stones, some taller than a modern 2-story house, were moved across valleys without cranes or modern transport systems. They were shaped without steel, aligned with astronomical precision, and placed on steep terrain where no flat surfaces or nearby quarries exist. To this day, structural engineers admit replicating such work would require digital modeling, industrial saws, and heavy machinery. Yet somehow, this was achieved in ancient Peru. Even more puzzling is the earthquake resistance of these structures. The walls were built to flex and absorb seismic shocks rather than collapse. Modern cities invest billions to achieve this kind of resilience, yet the builders of Ollantaytambo managed it centuries, perhaps millennia ago. Archaeologists suggest the Inca inherited these foundations, adding their own layers on top. The upper terraces resemble classic Inca craftsmanship, impressive, but not as mathematically precise as the colossal blocks below. This hints at a deeper possibility that Ollantaytambo is not purely Inca, but a hybrid site. If true, the original builders may have lived long before the Inca Empire. Recent studies using 3D scanning, satellite imaging, and AI analysis reveal inconsistencies in stone sourcing and construction methods. These findings suggest multiple phases of occupation, with some sections possibly predating the Inca by centuries or more. If the Inca themselves inherited Ollantaytambo, they might have been just as astonished as we are today. This leads to the core mystery. Were ancient civilizations far more advanced than we believe? Ollantaytambo is not about myths or aliens. It is about undeniable engineering achievements that challenge accepted history. These ruins may represent knowledge lost to time, a message carved in stone, still waiting to be understood. Forgotten civilizations of Peru. Peru is not forgotten, but much of its past remains hidden in silence. Entire regions, especially remote Andean communities, were historically marginalized, cut off by rough terrain and lack of infrastructure. Many of these areas still lack proper government attention, while archaeological sites remain buried, some belonging to civilizations that predate the Inca. The reality is striking. Fragments of history lie scattered across valleys and mountains, yet the world knows only a fraction of the story. This raises a haunting question. If there was once a civilization capable of constructing Peru's massive megalithic structures, what happened to it? How could such engineering knowledge, precision stonework, and unmatched architectural skill vanish without a trace? The answer may lie in the land itself. Peru has always been shaped by natural catastrophes. The Andes rest on one of Earth's most active tectonic zones, constantly shifting under the forces of earthquakes, landslides, and volcanic eruptions. For thousands of years, floods and quakes reshaped valleys, often destroying entire communities. Geological evidence shows that between 11,000 and 12,000 years ago, during the Younger Dryas period, the planet experienced dramatic climatic shifts. Massive glacial melting, sudden oceanic flooding, and sharp temperature drops struck with devastating force. In South America, sedimentary layers revealed traces of enormous floods, strong enough to wipe out valleys and settlements. If an advanced pre-Incan society lived in this era, only their stones could have survived. Everything else would have been erased. Yet nature was not the only destroyer. Human conquest has repeatedly overwritten history. When the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, they dismantled the Inca Empire and deliberately erased its cultural memory. Records were destroyed, temples burned, and sacred sites converted into churches. The Coricancha, the most revered Inca temple, was turned into the Church of Santo Domingo. Conquistadors even reused the same stones, replacing ancient beliefs with their own. Spanish letters reveal that the Inca themselves admitted they did not know how the massive stones were built. Yet, these testimonies were dismissed as myth. Thus, centuries of memory were severed. Without written records, oral traditions proved fragile. War, plague, and suppression erased generations of knowledge. The genius of ancient stoneworkers, engineers, and priests died with them. The Inca attempted to preserve fragments by building upon megalithic foundations, aligning their temples with older ruins. But their stonework, smaller and less precise, revealed they could not replicate what came before. The greatest mystery of the Andes may not be hidden. It may be forgotten, buried under centuries of disaster, conquest, and silence. Today, new discoveries and modern technology are beginning to reopen this lost chapter. The question remains, what truths will science uncover when it finally dares to ask the right questions? Secrets unearthed by modern science. For centuries, the megalithic ruins of Peru were overlooked, misattributed, or explained away with guesswork. But in the last few decades, advanced technology has forced us to look again, and what we're finding doesn't fit into the old explanations. Tools like satellite imaging, 3D mapping, spectroscopy, and artificial intelligence have revealed details invisible to the human eye. One of the biggest breakthroughs came with LiDAR, light detection, and ranging. Originally created for aerial topography and military use, LiDAR sends thousands of laser pulses per second to create precise 3D maps of landscapes, even beneath dense forests. In 2022, a joint team of Peruvian and international researchers scanned the Sacred Valley. The results showed hidden terraces, buried walls, and geometric designs stretching for miles. Some matched visible ruins, but others had no surface counterparts, suggesting an older, unknown construction phase. Near Moray, LiDAR revealed concentric circular depressions engineered with precision. Once believed to be simple farming terraces, new soil and rock analysis points instead to an advanced acoustic or thermal experiment, possibly involving water, sound, or solar alignment. 3D laser scans at Ollantaytambo uncovered cuts and grooves showing perfect symmetry and curvature, consistent with mechanical machining rather than hand tools. Some stones fit so tightly that they expand and contract together with temperature changes, moving as if they were a single block. In 2023, spectroscopic analysis at Sacsayhuaman revealed mineral surface changes, suggesting stones had been heat-treated or chemically altered. Yet no Incan toolset or furnaces exist to explain this. It points to a lost technique, applied only to the most complex blocks. Artificial intelligence has also identified hidden design principles. By comparing thousands of data points, AI detected alignments within fractions of a degree to solar positions and cardinal directions. Other walls were built with mathematical ratios, like the Golden Ratio and Fibonacci sequence, evidence of a shared knowledge system, not random artistry. Technology is now pushing further. Drones map inaccessible ridges, ground-penetrating radar reveals buried foundations, and micro-abrasion analysis uncovers microscopic tool marks. Each discovery adds more complexity instead of solving the mystery. In 2025, Ollantaytambo was elevated to Hierarchy 4 status by the Peruvian government, joining Machu Picchu among the nation's most important landmarks. The New York Times even listed it as one of the 52 must-visit destinations. With recognition comes both global attention and pressure to preserve what might still be hidden beneath its stones. These ruins were not built with crude tools or brute strength. They are feats of engineering that challenge even modern methods. No wheels, no iron, no mortar, yet multi-ton stones were moved across impossible terrain and aligned with the stars. The true mystery is not only in the stones themselves, but in how much we have forgotten. What kind of knowledge have we lost, and how many more secrets still lie buried beneath our feet? We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more amazing stories.